Right, guys, in this one, I want to cover two things. First one, how to find YouTube channels, and the second one was somebody asked me to show some recommendations, so I thought I'd just combine them because it's all on YouTube. So, in the immersion circles, some people recommend making an entire channel just so that it's all in like Korean or whatever language you're doing. So that they say make a new profile and then set everything to Korean and whatnot. But it's not really necessary, although it will get rid of like some like recommendations that you get that are in English or languages that you don't want. But mostly, even if you don't do that, you'll still get stuff that's in Korean because it'll go off stuff that you watch. So that if you watch more stuff in Korean, you'll get more stuff in Korean anyway. So and that'll also help you find new channels that are similar to content that you're watching. So if you start watching the news, you'll get a bunch of news channel recommendations and a bunch of video recommendations that are from news stations and news channels. So the first thing you want to do is um, you want to change your location to Korea, but I think this is actually not as important as when you type in YouTube at the top, use the extension that is for the country that you want. So if you type in youtube.com, it'll probably take you to your country's um, YouTube at first. But if you put youtube.co.kr and then you bookmark this, it will always take you to YouTube, like the Korean YouTube. It will always 100% always take you there. So you're better off bookmarking or like however you get to YouTube is by using that .co.kr one. Even if you change your location here, which obviously I recommend doing, you don't have to change the language just to change the location. So you can still keep it as English if you're not like comfortable with putting it in Korean, but obviously you get more immersion if you put it in Korean because some the larger channels, even things that aren't even in Korean, they have translations, and when you set your language, it will come up as the language that you have it set as. So often, when I'm on my phone, it's not set to Korean, so the Korean channels will have like English titles on the videos, even though it doesn't really matter. So once you've done that, you want to go to the popular section. So here is not the popular, trending. So the trending section, it will have basically huge channels, and these are perfect because especially when you're looking to find new channels, and they have the different categories up here. So even just the popular ones in general, and then like this will be most of the popular channels. It's actually its own channel, so you could do something stupid, and oh no, you can't even subscribe to it. But even still, so this way you can filter out. So the trending is usually like maybe 50% music, so you can just filter that out really. So all these are like the trending ones in Korea, not in your country. So once you've gone to the correct location, youtube.co.kr, and your location is set to Korea, you will always get these. So you can do this and you'll get all sorts of things. You can even just get movie stuff, and so it's based on what the channel has set their video, the genre that the channel has set their video to. And you don't necessarily always get Korean stuff. Sometimes you'll get English stuff and other languages, like whatever is trending in Korea at the time. So that's a good way to find random channels. But another good thing to do is if you just Google what you want to search and then just search it in the title bar. So if you just type in Yoksai, you'll get loads of videos about various history things. And then obviously, if there's something more specific that you want, you can search different channels in. And then what I find is you don't have to necessarily choose the first channels that you see. So on the trending, you click them, you just test them out, and then you can watch some of their old videos if you're interested. It's because it's all about finding something that you actually want to watch and want to listen to. And this is going to be different for every person. So everyone has their own set of subscriptions, even in their own native language. So you just want to look for content that you can enjoy and that you like get along with. So that's basically everything you need for finding. You don't need to make your own a separate channel. Just set your location to Korea. Make sure you're on the Korean YouTube. Use the search. The search function is probably the most powerful because you can find basically anything that you want on any genre. So you type in news, you get millions of different news channels. They're all different channels as well. Look, completely different channels. There's hundreds of channels on YouTube. It's basically infinite content because it's daily uploads from millions and millions of different channels. So that's about that. So the channels that I recommend, you can see the channels that I recommend here. So I have some immersion learners up here. Obviously, I'll probably add some more later when more people start uploading. But these are basically the people that are uploading um, semi regularly. Some more regularly than others. And then I have the Korean channels that I recommend. These are the ones that I recommend um, beneath. I think it actually shows up on the homepage, but if you go to the channel page here, that's where you'll see them. So I'll just go through a few of them. So this is Big Data. He's a immersion learner for English, and he has a bunch of channels about language acquisition in Korean, so you can listen to that. Jin Young Jin, he does like crazy stuff, trying to find out like why something is so like there's ones about he went into the taxi and he's just like, yeah, just go anywhere, and then like he sees the reaction basically, and he did one about this one here about Mongolians. Do Mongolians have like good eyesight? Because it's like a myth in Korea or something that Mongolians have better eyesight. Apparently they actually do. Um, and all sorts of things like how they get the expiry date. There was one about how does he get the thing inside the marble, and it turns out that it's just colored glass. And there was one about how they get the cars in the showrooms on higher floors, and it turns out that there is just an elevator inside for the cars. So there's lots of crazy stuff on there. I think these are like my favorite channels, the ones that like have crazy stuff. So this one, Pangmangne Harmony, she is from Gwangju, and basically the whole thing is like she become really popular from just making random videos. So you can find a lot of older videos, and it's basically just her speaking or just doing random things. So that one is kind of specific. And then this one here is Samul Gungi. He released a book, maybe two books actually now, but he released a book last year. But he's basically similar to Jin Young Jin, except more scientific, like crazy scientific stuff. Like one of his first videos is something about what happens if you shoot a gun straight up in the air. He has videos about weird things like sleep, like certain things like why do we sweat in our sleep, and like is it bad for you to do this and is it bad for you to do that, like crazy stuff. And why are bus brakes so loud, and just weird stuff like that. So next one, this one was recent actually, and it's just basically just Shivas, and they recently had a baby or something, and then they just make videos about that. But they upload quite often, so I think what you want to find is a channel that uploads like regularly, so you've got content to watch, and you can replace anything that you watch in English. And you can just, when you come onto YouTube, you just, oh look, you just click your subscriptions and go on there and like, oh yeah, this is on there. And they're quick videos as well because it's only like 7 to 10 minutes usually, so you just get your immersion in that way easily. So Jang Biju, these guys, Jang Biju, these guys just make like comics, not comics, like cartoons. There's a few other channels like this that just make cartoons, and they're all getting like really popular lately. But I think this might be the second most popular one, or the most popular one. But yeah, it's just cartoons, random things, really casual. Like it's quite rude, so yeah, it's not for everyone. Um, you can subscribe to musicians. So Jang Bum Jun here, he wasn't uploading, but he's been uploading like karaoke regularly lately. So it just depends on like who you want to follow music wise, but they might upload a bit too much. This one I saw on the trending, Kim Shi-sun, he basically just covers Netflix TV shows or movies. He doesn't spoil it, but he gives like a rundown of like a TV show or something. He'll just go over the TV show, just commenting on it and blah 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 blah. And there's a couple other channels like that. Kim Young Yo, he just does. He used to just Twitch stream, but and upload the clips, which I think he still does actually, but he has become like super active now, and he plays basically every day. So that's one gaming channel. But there's tons of gaming channels on YouTube in general. Alright, so talk to me in Korean 100%. This one's pretty good actually. So all their videos are like random topics, simple topics, and it's 100% in Korean, but they still talk kind of like kind of slow and it's kind of annoying to a point, but they still talk fast enough that it's good content for learners. So this one is pretty good. Debbie's Cutting Point. This one is mainly anime stuff, and she just goes, oh, there she did the Disney stuff as well, like a bunch of Disney TV movies at the start, which was how I found it on the trending as well. So a bunch of Disney movies here, and she just goes over the plot like quickly, and they're really good for just picking up words, and you can just listen to them whenever you want, really. But she uploads quite regularly as well. And then this one, Yokde Cinema, he basically does the same as the other two, as Debbie's and what was the other one? I can't remember what the other one was. Kimchi San, that's it. So he just does the same thing, just a TV show, and he'll just like it's kind of like I don't know how to explain it, but I think I saw this one on the trending as well. But he doesn't have that many subscribers, so even smaller channels you can find on the trending section, which is good for everyone. So that's about it for now. Hopefully, well, you can leave your recommendations for channels or even any tips to finding good channels in the comments. Um, and that's about it. Thanks for watching.